my job to get the ball before I get hit, and just knowing that it's not going to be, I'm not going to have perfect protection every single time I snap the ball, and for the most part, those guys are doing a good job, and I just got to do a better job. I think it's not on one person or one group. I think collectively we can all just do a better job.
And then obviously they send a lot of receiving and some pressure looks and all that. What input do you have on protection for line? And are you still seeing a lot of how much are you seeing new looks for the first time as you go through this?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of input at the line of scrimmage as far as protection, and in certain protections I make the mic point, in certain protections the center makes the mic point, and then I can change it. But we're all on the same page, and we haven't really seen anything that was specifically new in the game. It was kind of all stuff we've talked about. It's just a matter of going out there and executing. It's not like we're having free runners all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I think from a schematic standpoint, we've been fine as far as picking up the blitzes. We just got to do a better job executing, and I got to do a better job getting the ball out.
Sam, obviously you weren't on the field much last year, but you surely went back and you were looking through the moment and watching tape and all that. You notice something different that defenses are doing with Terry and maybe Jahan in particular this year that's taking away some things that maybe were there available last year?
I mean, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I think we're probably seeing a little more shell coverage this year, a little more too high than what we saw last year. That's just kind of based on the offense we're running and the track record that EB has with the Chiefs. You know, they see a lot more too high shell coverage, so I would probably say that might be a little bit of it. But I think I got to do a better job. We got to do a better job of getting those guys more involved.
And you see some games. We saw one this past week with like Keenan Allen with Chargers where he had an ungodly amount of targets. Sometimes it's just the right throw to make. But what's that line for a quarterback where you know who you want the ball, whose hands you want the ball in, but you can't just like force it there. But sometimes you're like, hey, I do want to hit the ball in that guy's hands, but whatever the defense is doing, I got to do that. What's that sort of line for a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think for me, my thought process is, I want to get. We have so many good receivers and playmakers, and I want to get all of them the ball. But I just kind of go through my progressions the way I'm supposed to go through it. I don't really. Sometimes I focus on who is where and what position. But for the most part, I'm going through my progressions how I'm taught to go through them. And whoever's in that spot at that time is, and if they're open, they're going to get the ball. But there are some things in the offense where it's kind of pick a side or pick a guy. And obviously, I know, who I like in certain situations. But yeah, I mean, I just think overall, I got to do a better job of getting those guys the ball because they're special players, and we got to just continue to spread the ball around.
Sam, I wonder how in-season learning differs from learning during an off-season when you're installing with different things and you can kind of go over things. If you ran into something you want to look at again. But you have a game this week and then you have a game 4 days later. How do you kind of process learning when it's a game every week and you have to kind of forget what happened last week because you have a new opponent this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think which you just have to take. Obviously the game was on Sunday, and Monday we come in and watch the game and talk about it, and Tuesday we do that as well. And I think you try to learn from the mistakes as quickly as possible, but at the same time you don't want to overreact just because you have another game coming up that Sunday, like you said. So there's always some key points that you want to focus on coming out of certain games, but then after you kind of get past that, you start working towards the next opponent. And I think we've done a good job of that this week. And, the Buffalo game is behind us, and we're excited about this opportunity on Sunday.
Do you just fall back on kind of the principles of this offense as the season goes on? You know what you want to do, you know how you want to attack, and you know how the ball's supposed to come out. Do you fall back on those things as the season goes on?
Yeah, for sure. Just the base foundation that, they have set, and not only me, but for our whole offense, we always kind of rely on that, and we'll continue to be who we are. And all the stuff that we've been doing, we'll continue to do. But yeah, I would say to answer that question, yes.
One was kind of emphasizing that this was only your fourth start. Do you take any solace in that, or do you think about kind of how young you are and all this, and how much you have to learn?
Yeah, honestly, no. I don't make any excuses for myself. I expect to play much better than I played on Sunday, and my teammates and this organization deserves for me to play better than I played on Sunday, and I just got to do a better job. I can't go out there and make the excuse that I'm young because the teams that we're playing, they don't care. The scoreboard doesn't care. And so I got to do my job at a higher level in order for this team to go where we want to go. So I'm excited to get back out there on Sunday.
And I'm wondering for you last year, seeing this team beat the Eagles in that post-game celebration alone, what was it like as kind of just being in your first year, experiencing that sort of vibe, atmosphere, what it was like for you?
Yeah, it was a great game. Great win for us last year, and such a cool thing to be a part of. And yeah, I mean, I just remember being the locker room that was probably the most excited I saw our locker room was after that game last year, and obviously a good Philly team and so talented. They have one of the better rosters in the NFL. So it is a great challenge. But yeah, no, we're excited to go back to Philly. Obviously, last year's game isn't going to do anything for us this year. It's a new team. We have a new team, and we got to go in there and play at a high level in order to have a chance to win the game. But we feel like we got to have a really good week of practice, and we'll have a good plan, and it's just a matter of going in there and executing.
Stan, did you watch the Monday night game? The Eagles?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
And obviously, you're not going to share any strategic things with us, but did you take anything away from what they were able to do against the Buccaneers to kind of share in the meeting room and get ready for this week?
Yeah, I mean, we watch every game that they've played. I didn't really watch a whole lot on TV while the game was on, but I watched it on Tuesday yesterday. But yeah, I mean, we look at every game and always look at what teams are having success on and what's not working. And obviously, when you look at the tape, their front jumps out. Obviously, I think that's where it starts for their defense, and on the back end they have some really good players as well. So it's a very talented defense, and they're doing a really good job. So we definitely got to be ready to go.
And then a handful of starts in your NFL career. Is there a noticeable difference from being a starting quarterback in the NFL to being a starting quarterback in a major collegiate conference?
I don't know. I mean, I take the same approach, so I wouldn't say there's much of a difference. I would say it's much harder. It's harder to play in the NFL, and it's easier in college, I would say, for sure. And obviously the players are much better, but from an approach standpoint and a mindset standpoint, there's not much of a difference.
Talk about the approach and the mindset. Your NFL career got off to a hot start, right? You're 3-0, touchdowns, usually legs. I had to go back to your Carolina days to find the last core game, that Virginia Tech opener in 21. The next ACC game, you go out and throw 5 touchdowns. How do you approach needing to bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I just kind of put the game behind me and worry about the next game. I think who the player I was on Sunday is not who I truly am as a player. And so I just kind of go back to my process and doing what's always worked for me in the past and preparing the same way and just never losing that confidence. I think especially in this league, you have to stay confident. No matter how bad I played on Sunday, I have another opportunity on this Sunday to play against a really good Philadelphia team, and I got to do whatever it takes throughout the week to prepare myself. But I'm excited to get back out there. Ever since the game ended on Sunday, I was excited for the next game just because I'm ready for another opportunity. I'm ready to go out there and play like myself again.
Anybody you talk to, like your dad, a former coach, your quarterback coach, anybody like that?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to all those people. My dad, my high school coach, my trainer back home, everyone. Honestly, I get more texts after a bad game like that than I do after a good game. And just people checking on me and checking on my mindset, make sure I'm all right. But no, I mean, I think the main thing is a lot of people have had my back, and not only back home but in this building as well. So it's been good to feel that, but I'm excited to go back out there.
2 more.
You've taken sacks at a relatively high rate every year since you were a freshman at Carolina. Are you approaching addressing it now differently than you have before, or are you keeping the same process?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's been a point of emphasis for us, and I got to do a better job getting the ball out of my hands and knowing the right time to try to extend the play and get outside the pocket, and knowing the time to just take an incompletion. And I think that's one thing that's hurt our offense so far is the negative plays and getting behind the chains. Just because if you get behind the chains in this league, it's hard to put drives together. So it's something I'm definitely always working on and obviously always cautious of. Yeah, I feel like it's something that'll only get better over time.
And what makes the Eagles front so good, and is it an extra emphasis, the things you're talking about, because of how good they are this week?
Yeah, I mean, you always look at the guys they have, and obviously they're really good up front. So we gotta do our job in protection. I got to do my job in protection as well, and making sure we're neutralizing the front. But I mean, they're just so talented. Even they have so much depth as well. The guys that are coming in, backing those guys up are really good players. Like the Jalen Carter kid doesn't even start the game, but he's one of the better players we'll play all year. And so they have really good players on their front, and we got to be ready for it.
Last one.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on kind of what's more sore. But I have kind of a process of things I like to do. I think the main thing is you got to work out. So I work out. I come in on Monday and get a good workout in, and work out on Tuesday. And after those two workouts, I usually start feeling pretty good. Once I start moving around again, and obviously in the training room getting treatment and stuff like that, I kind of have a process of how I go about that. But I feel like my body's in a pretty good place right now.
In games where you don't have Logan Thomas out there, does anything change from your mindset just not having that, bigger body out there to target?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we love to have Logan out there, and he's a tremendous player for us. But at the same time, we love all our tight ends. And I think Cole has done a good job of kind of stepping in and filling that void of being a good pass catcher. And when Bates has been throwing the ball, he's done a good job with it as well. And obviously, everyone knows what he's capable of doing in the running game and pass pro. But we love all our tight ends. But yeah, definitely miss Logan out there.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks.
appreciate it, guys.